Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. Apologies, mic problems. For some reason, my mic was saying that it was disconnected from my YouTube, which I didn't understand. Had to restart everything and go again. So apologies. Hopefully you can hear me. I hope that you are all well. Before we do anything on this lovely, is it a lovely sunny Thursday? I'm not sure it is actually. I think I might have gone a bit too over the top of that. It's a little bit grey and overcast, but it looks like it could be sunny a little bit later. Smash that like button. We're getting really bad on this channel on smashing that like button, so please do. It really, really does help. I hope you are all very well. And is this the day that the Thomas Frank revolution starts? I'm seeing more and more people come around to it. I'm seeing more and more people come around to the Thomas Frank way. A lot of people before that said childish things like, oh, but he lost to Plymouth. Oh, but he finished 16th for a couple of years back in the Premier League. All these childish people that don't really understand football and coaching, I think, are now starting to come around. They're starting to come around. Good morning to all of you. I won't be able to say good morning to everyone, but good morning to Tony Rodriguez. Hope you are well. Big up to you. Good morning to Vinny Rowley, to Finn Rickwood, Jason Scopes. I've got a feeling it will be today or tomorrow morning. It's a lot to do. I keep saying this. It's a lot to do. We wanted Levy to act properly. He is acting properly. He's getting Frank and most of his backroom staff. This is a big old swoop for Spurs. So it's going to take a few days at least. Hopefully today or tomorrow is that day. Good morning to Hod God 10. Good morning. Good morning. Saying, is it Levy or the new CEO pulling the strings? I would suggest it's still Daniel Levy. I don't know that it's still Daniel Levy. What's going on with my chair? I don't feel center. There we go. I don't know is the honest answer to that question. I would suggest still Levy. Who knows? It's all change at the top. Hod God, all of those assurances are done. Now it's the paperwork. It's the dotting of the I's, the crossing of the T's. Honestly, this isn't now about can we get him. This is about all the boring bit, the paperwork, the legalities, the intermediaries, the lawyers, the solicitors, the contracts. Imagine all the contracts for all the different people. So let's see. Let's see. Good morning to the Aussie Frank lover. Big up to you, Aussie Frank lover. Hope you're well. Big up to Shem Tan. Good morning. No Savern chat. Hope all are doing well today. Surprised Poch hadn't walked out or been fired yet. Terrible performances. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the USA fans are not happy with what Pochettino's doing in the US. Very different, isn't it, being a national team manager to a coach of a league side where you get the players all day, every day. Very, very different. Obviously, look at England with Thomas Tuchel. It's not been the fairy tale start that many would have wanted. Bear with me 1 second. Good morning to Dobby's dad. 1 second. Got to drink more when I'm streaming. Good morning to Capone79. Good morning to you. Would you take Bakayoko? Yes. Yes, and Mano Kone. Yes to Mbeumo. And yes to Damsgaard. Yes, I would take all of them. Who's at my front door? Sorry, bear with me 1 second. Someone at my front door, but the wife will get that. So yeah, listen, lots of players. I would definitely take Capone. By the way, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. You tight people. We've got a busy day for you today. There's the link, by the way. I'm going to put the link to subscribe in the chat. The link to subscribe is in the chat there. Busy day today at 3 p.m. We have a members only show. If you're a member, you will have the link because I've posted it to my community page. So if you are a member, check my community page. You will have a link for 3 p.m. It's just for my members. I think there's about 150, 160 of them. Only for those people. Then this evening, I will be going live. I'm not sure at what time, maybe 7 or 8 p.m. I'm not sure, but we will be going live. So 2 lives, a 3rd live for the members only, and I've got a video for Mbeumo versus Semenyo. So big up to each and every one of you. George said Frank already being set up, and give us the old "I told you so." Listen, everyone's got to get behind this. This is a coach. I know there are football fans out there that don't understand Thomas Frank. I know there's football fans out there that don't understand coaching and development and improvement and nuance. Stephen is one of those who doesn't understand football. Bless him. I feel for you, Stephen. Again, what did I tell you before I'd even seen this? What did I tell you? Frank lost to Plymouth. I mean, we're talking about a manager that couldn't beat Tamworth and in 90 minutes that Stephen liked. He can't get past the fourth round. Last year, he finished 16th. Well, last year, he didn't. He finished in the top half. Again, somebody who doesn't understand context. It's not his fault. I'd love to speak to football fans like this. They don't get it. They don't understand why are so many people in the footballing world, in the coaching world, in the management world, all so complimentary about Thomas Frank? Why have so many big clubs wanted to try and take this man? Again, so he's back saying it again. Look, Glasner is the man. So the difference between Glasner and Frank is the Europa League with Frankfurt and the FA Cup with Palace, right? Again, both very, very good coaches. It's honestly a little bit weird. It's honestly a little bit weird how people don't understand coaching. Hey, I'm here to help those people. I really, really am. There we go. Oh, he's back. I love this. We've got him today. I can't wait to play this back half through the year when you are calling for his head. I won't be calling for his head. This is a coach. With coaches, they need time. Stephen, you don't get it. I never trusted Ange because he's not a coach. He doesn't develop. He doesn't implement a style of play. He doesn't make our players better. This man, I think we're going to see incremental improvements every 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. He needs time. So when you're saying, I love these people like Stephen, trolls, no name. No, sorry, I doubt that's his real name. No picture. They say things like, you'll be calling for his head. You know when I'll be calling for his head? It's when he does a terrible job over 2 years like Ange. That's when I'll be calling for his head. These people make me laugh. Also, people that will never, ever come on and have that conversation because they can't. Because what they do is they speak with emotion and they don't have nuance or fact. You've got to add the facts and the nuance into this. This is a coach. You don't get it. Spurs need a coach. Big up to Ryan, who's become a new YouTube member. Big up, Ryan. That means he'll be able to, in time, he'll be eligible to join in the member-only shows later on today, which is going to be at 3 p.m. As I said, phone's going everywhere. 3 p.m. for the channel member-only show. Guys, girls, please don't be like Stephen. Think a little bit. Think a little bit. We won the Europa League, but if you actually look on the other side of everything, we can't defend. The attacking's poor. The midfield doesn't look settled. The passing is awful. The patterns of play, the defensive shape, the defensive setup, the transitions, everything just not coached. And this guy will coach. Alex, again, then just not getting it. Cannot believe there are fans expecting a trophy from Frank in his first season. Yeah, unfortunately, we've got a lot of fans now that think because we've won one in 17 that we're going to win a trophy every single year. Got an earache. Every single year. Every single year. And it's not going to happen. Listen, we could win a trophy again this year. I don't know. But for me, we need to concentrate on getting the club back to being some sort of, you know, not an embarrassment every week in the Premier League. There you go. Liverpool lost to Plymouth. Yeah, Slot, he's rubbish. He's rubbish. Keith Shields said, morning, Savva. Glasner and Frank are similar, only that Glasner has a history in Europe winning. Other than that, I'll take... Listen, for me, Keith, yeah, I've always said I love Glasner. I'd absolutely take Glasner. But mate, I just want to coach. I've got a coach. I can't complain. Anyone that understands anything to do with coaching will know that Ange Postecoglou was not the right man on a macro level. On a micro level of a cup run, yes. On a macro level of how we're going to upskill, improve the team, this guy was not the one. And I think the club saw that. The owner, the board saw it. The coaches, I think they all saw it. Big up to Lee. How you doing, man? Jump on if you're not working, but I know you probably are. Fans saying Frank is never going to win a trophy next year. Yeah, I agree. But on the flip side, if Andrew stayed, what trophy would he be winning? Absolutely, mate. Do you know what, Lee? The difficult thing is we haven't got the Europa League next year to fall back on. We don't have the Europa League to fall back on. Last year, I mean, look, Frank got absolutely, Ange got absolutely hammered in the semi-final of the League Cup. He got absolutely hammered by Villa in the FA Cup after struggling to get past Tamworth. And the league, we finished 17th. This season, we don't have that to fall back on. I just think people need to get behind this guy. I really do. Big up to Joe Barton, who said lose and it will be Ange would have won that. Win and it will be, oh, Ange had injuries, beat City. Absolutely. It will never end. It will never end. But, Joey, so I've got a really bad earache. By this metric that these fans are going to look at, they told us the league doesn't matter. So whenever Frank loses a game of football, they can't critique because they told us that league form doesn't matter. Isn't that how it works? Just saying. Just saying. Where are we? Quinny has said Levy is committed to so much to Frank as in compensation to Ange and Brentford. He can't afford to screw it up now. Yeah, listen, I think we're going to get a couple of good players. I do. I think that Frank's not a silly man. Frank would have, what I'm hearing, by the way, what I'm hearing is that Frank has dictated a few things that he needs if he comes. Let's see if those things come to fruition. One of them is a top winger. One of them is a DM. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's true, but a lot of the people saying this were the same people saying many of the things that were right in the summer, after the final and before. Big up to Haz, who has said, big up Savva, Frank is a good man manager. He'll put his arm over the shoulder of players. He believes in no dickheads policy. I love that. Hopefully Levy will back him, players, staff, etc. I agree. For me, too many divas at Spurs. The Bentancurs for me, the Romeros. Too many divas for me. This guy will sort it out. I think it will be today or tomorrow. I think it will be today or tomorrow that it will be announced, if we're honest. Yeah. All this guy is doing is parroting what Jason McGovern said. Yeah, but listen, there's a lot of, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the show, but there's a lot of people that are saying things without actually, without actually looking at context. So the people that are saying we should have kept Ange, they managed to forget 17th, the fact that the team looks horrible and gets beaten every week. But with Frank, they suddenly seem to find context. It's weird. It doesn't make sense to me. Danny Taylor said, I don't know how we can question this man when we've just finished 17th last season and lost the most games in the club's history. One small window in time as people brainwashed. As I've said, Danny, I've said many times, you can win a trophy, but for those that are so small-minded that they just say, won a trophy, nothing else matters. Oh, what about coaching, developing, improving the league? What about all these things, infrastructure? What about all these things that sit over here separately from just winning a trophy? I just don't get it. Suddenly, look at all those people that went from 8 p.m. on that Wednesday to this manager's got to go, whatever, to he's got to stay because of that 90-minute performance. Truly baffled me, if I'm honest. It made me question a lot of people out there. It made me question nuance. It made me question people that if they do actually understand coaching and football and tactics, or are they just so enthralled by the trophy win that nothing else matters? The development, the getting better as a football club doesn't matter to them. This notion that we could finish bottom half again and win a trophy when we don't have the Europa League. George, I think the funny thing is here, we spend all our time basing managers versus old managers that we've had, that we don't actually let the new manager do his thing. As I said, with Ange, over 2 years, I sat and I watched, and I'm thinking, I keep being told he's going to adapt. I keep being told things are going to change. I keep being told he coaches youth players. I keep being told he'll implement a number 6. None of these things happened for 2 years. None of them. So it is what it is. Big up to Go 1961. I hope you're well. I said Frank has stated loads of times he stayed at Brentford thus far because clubs support him fully. This would indicate he can reassurance from our board in terms of backing. Let's hope so, my man. Let's hope so. Listen as well. He'll upskill players who already got. He'll upskill those players. He'll coach them better. Listen, I think a lot of people stick with the ride. I think we're going to do well. Maybe Frank is the guy before the guy. Maybe Frank's here for 2, 3, 4 years and makes the club solid again. So at the moment, we're like that. We need to be like that for a little bit, don't we? We need to. Ron said Thomas Frank knows how to play their team to defend and attack. I don't see us conceding 15 goals like last season. I mean, 6 against, Look, we conceded so many goals last year. It was just embarrassing. Yeah, Mace, it could be another Friday announcement. I think, as I've said to many people, this is a big old deal to get over the line. It's a big old deal. Again, relax, calm down. I don't know why people are worried. The deal is getting done. There's no one else out there. There's a lot to do. Behind the scenes, they will be talking players. They will be talking all things Tottenham Hotspur. I don't know why. Everyone needs to just relax. Of course, Frank could lose to PSG. It's PSG, of course. Bader, be careful as well. I've seen you in the last 24 hours. You're turning troll-like. You used to be all right. You started to get a little bit troll-like. Funny how the league mattered before the cup final. Do you know what makes me... Well, I don't know what you mean by that, actually. Funny how the league mattered before the cup final. What I don't understand is the league should always matter. The league should always matter, right? Surely, whoever is in charge, the league should always matter. Mikhail has said, or Michael, however I'm pronouncing that, apologies. He said, only just want to see Spurs in the top half of the table and hopefully pushing a bit closer to trophies. But the truth is, there's still quite a way to go compared to some of the other sides. Look, I've said this time and time and time again. Winning a trophy is great. If you have to finish 17th to do it, it tells you that you're not a very good football team. Stephen has said 13th, 9th, 16th, 9th, couldn't get past round 4. Stephen, you don't understand football. You don't understand football. You do realise he's had 2 top half finishes with Brentford. Pound for pound is the best manager in the league. You really, really don't get that. Have you ever thought that maybe Glasner's not available? Have you ever thought about that? Again, unfortunately, people, this is what I mean. People like this have no nuance. People have no nuance. Look at that. Look at that. 13th, 9th, 16th, 9th. He manages Brentford. Stephen, stop this. Fans like you don't understand football. No European experience. Have you seen Ange's European experience? The guy's never won a Champions League game. So you've really got to stop saying this silly stuff. Look, let me show everybody, because Stephen doesn't understand football, and he's welcome to come on. He won't. He'd shit his pants. Because Stephen doesn't understand football. Look at this. Look at the money spent. Look at how little money has been spent by Brentford. They lose their best players every year. And look what he's done there. Look what he's done. Spurs in the last 3 years, by the way, have been 8th, 5th, and 17th. Is it really that different? Really? I just don't understand. We've got some very unintelligent fans in our fan base. I'll say it. I don't mind saying it. We've got some very unintelligent people that I don't think they look at the nuance of football. They don't look at the nuances of football. Simon saying, we all know Frank is not getting backed. I think he's going to be. I do. I think we're going to have some that are underwhelming. I do think we're going to have a couple of players that he wants. Now, here's the difference. Here's the difference. What Frank might consider being backed to what you and me might consider being backed could be very different. He might be turning around and saying, Semenyo's the guy I want. That's the guy I want. We might have fans that go, don't want Semenyo. Is that him being backed? Or is that just the fans saying he's not being backed? We don't know, right? We don't know. It's funny that any player that works out, we always say he's been backed, the manager. When a player doesn't work out, we always say that he's not. Ange wasn't backed. Hang on, everyone loved Madison, Mickey van der Ven, Vicario, Bergval. Do you know what I mean? Everyone loved these players. Everyone wants Tell. Not everyone, but you know what I mean. So we've got to be careful with how we talk about these things. Notorious Pie G, what you saying? Rumors that we're going to go for Paulinho. I'd love to go for Paulinho. I think he'd be a really good player sitting in that number 6 role for Tottenham. Let's see. I think it's a deal we should be able to get done, right? He's got a house in London. He's played in the Premier League before. He's not getting the game time he would require or desire at Bayern Munich. We'll see. We'll see on that one. I'd really like him. I really, really do like him. Danny said, going by the metric of Ange, beat Frank twice last year. Frank done the double over Glasner last season. Does it make him a better coach? Danny, Ruud van Nistelrooy beat Ange. So is Ruud van Nistelrooy better? Honestly, this is what I mean, Danny. These people, they don't think. They don't think. Ange Postecoglou beat Pep twice. Are you taking Ange over Pep? These things don't make sense. These people don't make sense, do they? They really, really don't. We'll see. Yeah, listen. Agreed. I just think. Good morning to my man James Flower. How you doing, man? I just think, a lot of people do think it's Football Manager. Like you phone up, put in a bid for the manager, and then boom, 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 it's done. I don't think they're understanding, that we're getting him plus 6 or 7 of his backroom staff, all of their contracts, all of the lawyers involved and the intermediaries. They're going to be doing the photos at the training ground, the little videos they put together, the VTs. I don't think people understand this. Honestly, as I said, I'm quite lucky, I've had the privilege of working at 2 football clubs and seeing how all this works. And behind the scenes on the day of an announcement or players or managers arriving is very, very it's busy. There is stuff going on. Heard someone on a podcast yesterday ask whether the Super Cup might be the first game ever when a team might declare cricket style. Gosh. No, I trust this manager to set us up properly. Savva, would you take Kyle Walker for a season just to add some experience? I would, for the experience, yeah. Yeah, I definitely would for the experience. And he's 10 times better at right back than Pedro Porro. Unfortunately, Pedro Porro is a magnificent footballer, but not a good defender. Can Frank coach that into him? We'll see. Maybe he wants Spence for that position. We will see. I think some fans don't realize what a mess Ange has left this team in. Bang on, PH family. I don't think they get it because they're just looking at the trophy. They're not looking at the 2 years of damage of having no coaching. These fans don't get it. He said, yeah, we won a trophy, but players haven't been coached for 2 years and we're regressing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Facts, Savva. I don't know what I said, but let's just assume it was brilliant, shall we, Sam? Big up to you lot, guys and girls. What's going on this channel lately? The like button. Why are we not friends with it? Where there's 500 in here and only 127 likes. Please smash that button. We have now just gone over the 18. We are 50 away from 18.5K. 50 away from 18,500. But please, can we, before we do anything right now, smash that like button, please. Agreed. Agreed. You have to play in it to get the experience. I don't get it. It's like saying, let's think of somebody that's never played in the Champions League. It's like turning around and going, we want Mbuemo. Why? Has he played in the Champions League for Brentford? Do you know what I mean? We want Eze. Why? He's never played in the Champions League. It's mad. Honestly, it's mad. You'll see it soon. You'll see it. He's a great coach. He's a great coach. Well, do you know what? I think what's funny is, Paul, I think there's a lot of sayings that go round in football. Yeah, I'm live, but no worries, man. I think I've figured out how to do it. Thank you. If you're free, jump on. Love you. Bye. That was Sean, by the way. I was telling him that I love him. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that get pushed around. Club signing. Well, most clubs make club signings. Do we think that Pep Guardiola is going to be at Man City for the next 6-7 years? So does that make Ait Nouri, Rayan Cherki, Reinders, are they club signings? Are they Pep signings? Is it a bit of both? Again, people got to just, not you, people have just got to switch on a little bit and realize there's nuances. Paul Van Beek said we're a toxic club. We definitely need Frank to steady the club. Bang on. I feel excited. We finish in at least the top 8, top 6, depending on transfers. Yeah, listen, a lot of, when we talk about where we should finish in the league, a lot of this is going to be dependent, right, on a lot of this is going to be dependent on who we buy in and who we sell. Same with every football club. I think it's a bit too early in June, the beginning of June, to start talking about where we're going to finish. Let's wait and see what players we get in. Paul has said, honestly, let Frank enter the building, judge him when the season is over. Listen, let the man build. Let the man build. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a month, 2 months. Let him build. Agreed. I completely agree with you. Is Ruud a good manager? Well, I wouldn't want Ruud van Nistelrooy, but he beat Ange. So according to these stands, he should be our new manager. It's so silly. By that metric, it means that Pep's never lost a game to a lesser manager. Ancelotti, Wenger, Fergie. Every time one of them lose a game, we're going, oh, that manager's better than them. It's a bit crazy, isn't it? I agree, Mace. It's going to get done. I agree. It's going to get done. Big up to Ryan, who's become a new channel member. Big up to you, bro. And you followed that up with a massive super chat. Thank you very much. Very generous indeed. And as said, Savva, can't wait to see how Frank starts the season. Can't see us beating PSG. Would be nice, though. I hope that we can have consistency and progress up the table. But why do so many fans care about the style of play? Look, listen, I get it to a degree. What I don't want to see my team do is what we did in the Europa League final every week. I don't want to see us 10 men behind the ball. I want to see us coached. I want to see transitions. I want to see that against different opposition, we can adopt a different mentality and a different style. I think when fans say they care, listen, no one plays free-flowing football all the time. It would be lovely to. But no one does really. You know, let's look at Pep Guardiola's Barcelona team. No one plays like that every week. I think you've got to be pragmatic at times. You've got to be exciting at times. You've got to be cautious at times. You've got to dig in at times. And I think that's the balance we've been missing. We've had one style for 2 years and it didn't work. So very generous. And as I said, you're in time now as a new member for the member-only shows at 3 p.m. So is The Richest Man, 3 p.m. I will put the link out at about 2 and then 2:30. So that is purely a show just for members. It won't get seen. It won't get seen by anyone who's not a member. You will not get an alert. You will not be able to watch the show. It's just for channel members. So a safe place for them to come on or just listen to me or whatever it may be. Big up to you, Richest Man. And big up to you, Big Will. Big Will Plays, who's also become a member. So 4 new channel members today. Big up to you guys. Hope to see you at 3 p.m. By the way, guys and girls, there will be a channel member only show every week. It won't be on the same day or same time. I want to make sure that I mix it around because lots of people won't be able to do the evenings. Lots of people will only be able to do the evenings. So I'm going to mix it around. Some in the morning, some in the afternoon, some in the evenings. So big up to all of you guys for becoming new channel members. Big up to Lily White Lane. How you doing, my man? Hope you're well. I said, morning, Sav. I hope I'm very well. Thank you very much. People saying that because Frank hasn't won a trophy, he's not good enough. Took Brentford from mid-table championship to establish Prem side with a 71 million net spend. I know. Absolutely. I know. Mate, it absolutely makes me laugh that people can't do it. They can't put the context in there. They just can't. They're so full of hate that they can't. Big up to you, my man. Terrible news coming out of India. What's happened in India? One second. What's happened? What's happened in India. Oh no. Oh, awful. So there's been a plane crash in Ahmedabad in India. Hang on, let's just go in. Sorry, I know this isn't football, but an Air India plane with more than 200 people on board has crashed near the airport in India's western city of Ahmedabad. The airline and police officials said on Thursday, without specifying whether there were any fatalities. At this moment, we're ascertaining the details and will share updates in due course. A total of 242 people were on board the flight. Wow. Okay, well, let's best wishes with all those people. Let's hope it's hard to say. Let's hope that the crash was minimal, if that makes sense. I mean, it's a crash, but let's hope it wasn't one of those ones that was fatal for all on board. So thoughts go out to everyone in India at the moment. That's, again, it brings a stark reality and reminder to life, doesn't it? It really does. Yeah, just don't like things like that. That's okay. Let's get back to the football. But if anyone hears anything, please let me know. Spurs Rule has said he will get a few decent signings this summer, and then, as always, the manager will be screwed over in the second summer and eventually be sacked. I just don't know what to say anymore. Ricardo said, I think, and I could be wrong, but will he be another yes man? Ricardo, what does that mean? What does that mean? Yes, man. We keep talking about this. Ange, Poch, Jose, Hoddle, Yol, Redknapp, AVB, Sherwood, Conte. Everyone a yes man? Everybody? I don't know how everyone can be a yes man. I'm not sure everyone's a yes man. The problem is we think a yes man is if the club sign a player we don't want as fans, they're a yes man. We've got no way of knowing. So I'll ask this. Did you rate Bergvall? When Ange was given Bergvall, was he a yes man? When he was given Van der Ven, was he a yes man? When he was given Madison, was he a yes man? When Nuno was given Romero, was he a yes man? You've got to think about these things. Dick's, this guy's a troll as well. This is a troll. Just says stupid stuff like this. Frank is a lapdog. I mean, look at the state of this account. Frank is a lapdog. Why is Frank a lapdog? Frank's one of the most respected coaches in football. Why is he a lapdog? Look at how we talk about these people. It's utter madness. I truly don't understand the lack of intelligence in some people's comments is madness. It's madness. Stav has said, Thomas Frank is perfect for us. A match made in heaven compared to probably the worst manager we ever had. I believe the players managed that Europa League. I completely agree with you. This is a man that will coach and galvanize. Again, saw another video this morning of Thomas Frank coaching. He's just a brilliant coach. Give it time. Big up to my brother from another mother, Philly, who said some fans have the club he deserves. Absolutely. Again, a tight budget. Spurs have spent the third most money in the last 5 years in the Premier League. Again, you're not saying things right. Unfortunately, what happens is, and there's a lot of YouTubers that do this, they hear something, don't do the research on it, and then play it off as fact. Oh, Levy doesn't spend. Levy spends. What they mean to say is, do we spend in the right areas? Do we spend on the right level of player? Doesn't mean that we don't spend. We just say some crazy stuff as fans, don't we? We just say some crazy, crazy things. These were the same fans that were waxing lyrical about Ange every week when he lost Premier League games. Madness. Big up to Fed Up Rachel, who has said, a true fan will understand Frank will bring stability, tactics, and coaching. Don't we all want that? You would think. You would think that we want that. Stav, which players would I sign? I think we need sensible players. I want to see an Umbuemo or a Semenyo out on the right for Frank to coach. I want to see a Paulinho in midfield. You know, I want to see players like that. Eze, I've always said, is the one that I would really like, but I want to see players that this manager thinks he will be able to coach. Coaching seems to be a dying art from fan bases that they don't want to coach. Win now, win now, win now, win now. Okay, but what about the youth? What about the players you sign? What about tactics? What about building relationships and partnerships over the pitch? What about cohesion within the squad? What about galvanization? What about all of these metrics, which also matter? Yes, winning a trophy is amazing, but time doesn't stand still because we won a trophy. Winning a trophy doesn't suddenly make poor managers into great managers because they got over the line once. Yeah, Kate, unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, that is true. Machina Joe, he won't lose 22 league games. He won't. Doesn't even lose that many at Brentford. He's never going to lose that many at Tottenham. Hey, it is what it is. Spurs Rule said he spends on transfer fees, but not on wages. Yeah, but okay, again. So what you need to do, Spurs Rule, is you need to put your point across better. Because you're saying he doesn't spend, then it's now changed to, he does spend, but not on wages. So why did Doué turn us down? It wasn't wages. Why did Kolo Muani turn us down? It wasn't wages. Why did Tamori turn us down? It wasn't wages. Again, there's a lot of sticks to beat Levy with at every single turn. I don't think there's any nuance. Just saying. Keith said, Savva, obviously, people haven't seen the coaching vids of Frank on here. Absolutely. Only footage of Ange we ever saw was him stood silent. Frank gets involved and gets respect from the players. One's a manager, one's a coach, right? One's a manager, one's a coach. One goes on the training ground and has a clear idea of what he wants to do, and he will show you what he wants. The other has an idea up there, but doesn't know how to get it across. Yes, Leroy Sane signing for Galatasaray. Doesn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form. So Leroy Sane and Kevin De Bruyne has landed in Italy for medical tests as a Napoli player. What a good signing for Napoli there. Trent Alexander-Arnold has arrived in Madrid. So Trent is now in Real Madrid. It's all happening. It's all happening, people. Sinner, big up to you, Pete. Said, morning, fella. How much would you expect us to spend net? Ooh. What would you class as backing Frank? To me, backing a manager could be allowing them to move certain players in, on, not just ins. Yeah, and again, Pete, yeah, great. That's what I like about you, Pete. You say some nuanced conversation, you know. When we say just backing a manager, maybe the manager comes in and says, I need to get rid of those 5 players. And they might be fan favourites. I need to get rid of those 5. Maybe that's backing the manager. Net spend, I'm not bothered what the net spend is. They've just got to spend. But as with always, I think we're going to see a lot of players go. And I don't think it will be a huge net spend. Maybe 50, 60 million. I don't know. But as long as what we bring in is allowed to go back out on players, then they've got the money to do something. We need Eze and Buemo Sesko at a bare minimum. I mean, think about that. That's 220 million pound worth of footballer. We're not going to get those free for 220 million. And again, you're not thinking. Spurs Rule, you're not thinking. You're not thinking. You've got to think. When you're saying we need them as a bare minimum, Sesko's going at what, 80, 90 million euros. Eze is what, 68, 70 million release clause or something? Umbuemo is going for 65 million. That's a lot of money. That's over £200 million on free footballers. It's not going to happen. Roberto Di Matteo won the Champions League with Chelsea. Remember that when you claim every manager that wins something is a good manager. No, I agree. Well, I don't claim it. I agree. Who won the FA Cup with Wigan? Bro, he spends on Virgin so he can get massive profits from a few years down the line. Okay, but Solanke wasn't a kid. Was he? Romero wasn't a kid. Was he? I mean, Brennan Johnson had been a pro for 4 or 5 years. Bentancur wasn't a kid when he came in. Porro wasn't a kid. Vicario wasn't a kid. Again, I think we're just picking and choosing the ones we want. I think we're just picking and choosing. Finn has said Spurs current favourites to sign Eze if he chooses to leave Palace. Listen, I'd love it. Let's see. I feel like everyone's going at Levy and Frank before anything's even begun. It's mad. Get set, go. I said Conte had the balls to tell us the fans who was club recruit versus the coach's choice. What you mean one player and just conveniently back Levy even to keep Werner? Look, I think you're going on about the Jed Spence thing there, right? But isn't it convenient that Conte didn't say it about anyone else? I don't know. It just feels a little bit strange to me. By the way, please keep smashing that subscribe button. We are powering towards 18,500 subscribers. Rebel Red Shamrock said, I'm super happy with Frank. I do have a slight worry that it turns out like Potter's first big job. Yeah, but I think that Thomas Frank has done it for years and years and years, done a great job at Brentford. No, I don't see it, if I'm honest. I don't see it. Chris has said, imagine players turning down a club rotting at the bottom end of the table with a manager who exposes everyone and makes them worse players. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. I mean, first and foremost, why did Sane laugh at us? Why? Because a player said no. Does it mean he laughed at us? He's ended up in Turkey, Galatasaray, you know? Makes no sense what you're saying. Unfortunately, people like this, just a lot of hate with no nuance. This is the sort of person you couldn't sit down and have an adult football conversation with because they say things like, he laughed at us. How do we know he laughed at us? How do we know he laughed at us? Maybe he's looked at it and gone, just not right for me. I don't want to be in London. I don't want to go there. I want to go Turkey. Like we just say silly things. Brandon says, Savva, I know you don't go games anymore, but I was curious, what was the last game you went to? Oh, God, I can't even remember. I can't even remember now. So, obviously, since doing the YouTube stuff, this is where my money is at. So, I can't even remember. I genuinely can't remember. Adam, so loads of players going to Turkey. Looks like Osman's going there as well. So, yeah, Ash, I think you do start to see the age of some people when they can't actually have a conversation, right? They just say silly stuff. They've got so much hate for Levy, you can't have a proper conversation. They've got so much hate. They hate Levy. Levy wins the Europa League and gets to a Champions League final but gets no credit. None of it makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. People don't want to be realistic. Unfortunately, Big Will plays. People don't want to be realistic. I don't know. Listen, I don't think Romero was properly behind Ange. I think Romero's out for Romero. I think he's a very good defender on the days he decides he wants to be. And I think that the rest of the time, I feel like his attitude is really, really poor. If I'm going to be brutally honest, I think it's really, really poor. We ain't linked with... Yeah, I'm not sure why Sesko came into the conversation. Madison's had 3 kids. He's definitely not a virgin. Oh, yeah. Go on, James, the dad. Frank's announcement soon with a signing. I don't think it will be doubled up with a signing. I do believe that they're doing things in the background. I just can't do this guy. He's just got silly, hasn't he? Lily White, Lane, how you doing, man? I said, where's Where's this sudden narrative come from that we're serial winners? It's mad, isn't it? Now, after the Europa League, if a manager hasn't won a trophy before and doesn't immediately, they're a failure. It is crazy. I don't think these people understand how bad a shape Ange has left us. 17th, no tactics. Like, we're in a bad way. Slippery people have said, am I the odd man out who's genuinely looking forward to someone with in-game flexibility, coaching ability, organisation, and someone on the touchline who looks happy and excited to be there? Nope, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you there. I'm with you. I don't know why so many fans don't want this tactical coach. I don't know why they don't want it. We aren't getting Eze, by the way. Listen, we might not get Eze, but you know, we're hearing that it's going to be an Eze or an Mbeumo or a Semenyo or someone like. If the coach wants them and thinks he can coach them, brilliant. But just because the fans might not want to play, it doesn't mean the manager doesn't. Again, you don't understand. I think Semenyo would be brilliant in a Thomas Frank setup. I think he'd be absolutely brilliant. A year ago, you would have been saying no to Mbeumo as well. That's the problem with fans like you. You don't understand. You don't understand nuance. Again, if I had said this time last year, we should sign Mbeumo, I think he got 9 league goals that year or 10. People would go, he's rubbish. Now everyone wants Mbeumo because he's had a good year under the manager that people don't want. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. This is the beauty. You can pick people's debates and arguments apart very easily because they don't think about what they're saying. He's also getting 280 grand a week out there. 280 grand a week. By the way, when you say we trounced Galatasaray, they played us off the park when we played them. Again, not true. Players want the money, and that's where we will foul every time. It's not true. You really don't understand football. Honestly, it's getting silly. I think Spurs rule and Dixon Cider, pathetic name, are the same person. Mauler said some Sane's wages there are comparable to someone like 400k a week due to tax benefits. Right. But let's have a go at Levy because he didn't get Leroy Sane. Do all these people understand as well? Maybe we're not attractive to Leroy Sane. Maybe finishing 17th. Maybe that might be why we're not attractive to people. Philly saying, why do fans go the bad one and overlook the good ones? Glass half full. For every Graham Potter, there is an Eddie Howe. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Yeah, I don't really care about kits, Lee, if I'm honest. I mean, it just looks like every other kit for me. I know they have to make their money and the sponsorships and the launches and everything, but yeah. Bang on, Daniel. This is a brilliant comment. Only our fans can live through the Poch era and then not give a Poch-like coach a chance. This is the best comment of the day so far. I'm saving that. That's the best comment of the day. Van der Ven's hamstrings will be happy with Thomas Frank. Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying he was terrible. Listen, he's not for me. If he signs, Frank's got a big job to get the best out of him, hasn't he? He's not for me, but he gets a lot of hype, doesn't he? Big up to Big Ange. Levy out. 15 managers in 24 years. Can't be just the managers every 18 months, 2 years. Well, it is when the manager has absolutely no tactics. Yes, it is the manager on this occasion. Fed Up Rachel said, Eze, brilliant, but played for Arsenal under 13s. Fed Up Rachel, come on. I've heard that Eze is actually a Spurs fan and his people are very close with Spurs. Come on. I don't care that someone played for the Arsenal under 13s. I don't give a shit about that. Here we go. Explain this to me. Romero's a quality defender, proven winner. Don't you think he's going to see that Frank will be the 6th manager he's played under? I think that Romero's never fit anyway. Doesn't give his best for every manager. If he goes, he goes. There you go. Simple as that. I don't care what Romero thinks. This is a guy who downs tools like that. Big up to Jose El Del Cocorel. I know he'll be getting behind the manager and the team. Big up to you, Jose. If you haven't subscribed, please do get over to Jose El Del Cocorel. Big up to you, my man. Marianne. I said, big up Savva in the chat, except the trolls. No, and the trolls. The trolls will learn in time. The trolls will learn in time. Brandon, and again, this is my problem with Romero. When he's brilliant, he's brilliant. When he's not, he's awful. I just wish he'd meet in the middle. I just wish he'd be stable. Maybe he will under Frank if he stays. If he goes, he goes. There's been talk about Romero leaving for about a year. And what everyone will do is they'll start blaming Frank. Oh, he didn't want to play for Frank. Well, maybe he didn't want to be at Spurs. Miguel Delaney has just said Brentford coach Justin Cochran also in a tug of war. Club want him to succeed Thomas Frank, but Frank wants him at Spurs. That should be interesting. See whether Cochran takes over the Brentford job. You are being silly. I mean, first of all, your name is really silly. Really silly. Chris has said, did anyone find out? Yes, we did. We did find out. Yes, we did. Big up to you. Durag Diaries raid. Big up to my man. Big up to my man, George. Hope he's well. Thank you to anyone who's joined the show from Durag Diaries. Please smash the like button. It appears that my viewers are getting slow on it. 220 out of 550 people. Come on, people. We should be at 300 easily. Smash the like button if you haven't already. We've got a poll in the chat saying, will Levy back Frank? And the options were yes, no, to a degree, or don't be silly. Yes, 26%. To a degree, 39%. No, 22%. Don't be silly, 13%. So some mixed answers there, a mixed bag of answers there indeed. Mr. Clean said, was not a fan of Ange, but he won a trophy. What is the Evan priority going to be? Yeah, but Mr. Clean, again, I'm going to talk about nuance and critical thinking. You can't just say we won a trophy. Brilliant, right? You've got to move on. Look at the other side. He's not coached us well for 2 years. Young players are not developing. There's no tactics to speak of. He's fighting with the fans. He's fighting with the press. The priority's got to be all aspects of the club getting better at the same time, not just one good cup run. Come on. Honestly, the inner workings of a football club aren't just great. We won a cup. Everything else needs to stop. It's not how it works. Hence why he's been sacked. Spurs want that sexy handball that we haven't seen. I thought his football was god-awful. I'm going to say it. Lily White Lane said, Ange winning the trophy was special, but we'll immediately see the difference in organisation in the team. Absolutely. We might look like a team. Maybe every week our manager won't be asked questions like, Ange, you've lost another game. Why are the fans upset? Oh, well, they know they don't understand football, but all this kind of stuff. The way Romero played in the Europa games proves he only plays for himself. Where are those performances week in, week out in the Premier League? I agree. Big up, Will. Listen, I try and keep it mature and sensible. But some people, again, my mum always taught me when I was growing up about critical thinking. Yeah? Someone's done something you disagree with. Step back. Why have they done that? Now, I've not always practiced what I've preached growing up. But as I've got older, I appreciate it more. So-and-so has snapped. So-and-so's called so-and-so this. Why? Okay. They've had a bad day. Something going on. It's a cry for help. All these different things. We don't have critical thinking in this fan base as a majority. Big up Queen Ellie. Said, don't be silly is in 14%. That tells you so much, Savva. 38% to a degree and no 20%. So that's 74% hindering Frank from your chat. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Savva, just because someone doesn't agree with your opinion, how that makes us silly. Because you add no nuance and your name is silly. So it makes me straight away. Plus, I see the messages you were putting into my YouTube chat the other day. I saw them. I see them, mate. You just say silly things. I'm trying to have a nuanced conversation with you, and you just keep coming back to, oh, but what about this? It's like, have the think critically. Possibly, maybe he goes in and he's the right back. Who knows? Maybe he doesn't, and Spence asked to leave. We'll see. But I trust Spence with that. Travelword said, Savva, Jonathan David has not been signed yet. What do you think about him? I'd take him all day long. He is a free agent, but it is an expensive signing. He wants a 15 million sign-on fee. His agent's fee, I believe, is 10 million, and then 5 million in bonuses. So it actually starts becoming a 30 million transfer, which is still good. And I believe that he wants something in the region of 200 grand a week. But listen, I'd take him all day long. In my opinion, which Spurs players that would thrive under Frank? I think many of them will thrive under Frank. I think the back 4, 5, whatever he plays, will thrive because he'll organise them. I think he'll actually get some wide men that can beat a man and they'll thrive. I think he'll allow Maddison to be a bit more of a 10 than actually playing on the halfway line. I think most of them will thrive. I do. I really do. Why should we give a Poch like coach a chance? We should be moving on to win now managers on a regular basis. Again, you don't get football. How can you move on to win now managers, when the squad has just finished 17th and doesn't have a win now squad? It's madness. I love this win now managers. Who do you want? What win now managers do you want? Didn't you see what happens when you get in a Jose and Conte and the club isn't set up for them? Didn't you see that? This is what I don't get, people. These people that say these things, right? They're not using the evidence of the past. You can bring in Jose and Conte. We're not set up for Jose's and Contes. Not many clubs are. I don't think so. I wouldn't either. I don't think he's a winger. I think we confuse that he's good going forward with being a winger. I want an Embuemo, a Semenyo. I want something like that. By the way, hang on. They just took the Spurs training ground. Let me just listen for 10 seconds. So there you go. Michael Bridge outside the Spurs training ground saying there's absolutely no issues with Thomas Frank wanting to come. That is not the delay. The delay is around which coaches he's bringing with him or not, as we said earlier. So the delay is that Spurs are trying to bring over essentially all of his coaching staff, but it's just not that simple. So the delay is superficial. It's going to happen. And he's just said everyone needs to calm down and it will happen. So for me, that's good enough. Dan Arroy, 94, says Romero only plays his best for Argentina. Listen, I agree. For me, this guy only springs to life in international tournaments and the Europa League. By the way, big up to you, my man. And big up to Andy Lester, who's become a YouTube member. Big up to you, mate. 3 p.m. today for the members only show. 3 p.m. today. Big up to you, Andy. I'll see you there, hopefully. And a chance for people to join in as well without it being broadcast on the internet. So big up to you, another channel member today. Surely you prefer to take over. Well, that might be this again, as I just said, that's what they're discussing, right? Frank will fight tooth and nail. Frank will fight tooth and nail. But you have no way of knowing this. You have no way of knowing this. Again, you have no way of knowing this. Eze would come to Tottenham if we offered, by the way. Eze wanted to come last year and Ange said no. So you've got no way of knowing this. It's just silly things being said just to have a pop at the club. What do you like Nathan Collins at Spurs? I think Nathan Collins is a very good centre-half. He's, again, not glamorous, not sexy, not the big name, not a big club. That means he gets belittled, same way Thomas Frank has. Thomas Frank brought him to the club, coached him to be a very good defender. He gets on with a job. I'd take him. Doesn't mean he's my first choice, but if Spurs signed him, I would not be unhappy. Big up to Daniel Field. Big up to you. I hope you're well. Finn has said Ange caused more injuries in a hospital, and time will tell him. True. Will you swallow your pride if Frank ends up being a dud? What does end up being a dud mean, Jimmy? What pride? What pride? I don't understand. You're a grown adult saying stupid shit like this on the internet. Will I swallow my what pride? I don't understand what pride. I don't understand this. Will I swallow my pride if he ends up being a dud? Is that being a dud by your metrics or whose metrics? What pride? Let me know. I don't understand that. Rebel Red Shamrock said Ange had to go. Bang on. He ruined multiple Sundays for me. No way he could get another chance after winning a very weak Europa trophy. Bang on. He ruined many weekends, didn't he? He just awful. Where are we? Big up Ellie said tactics refers to the specific actions or strategies employed to achieve a short-term goal or objective with a broader plan or strategy. It's about how you execute a plan in real time. Bang on. And one of the things that Michael Bridge just said there is, for anybody that knows Thomas Frank, all he talks about is having good people around him, good coaches, the importance of coaching. Our fans don't seem to want it, Ellie. Not all of them. We've got so many fans that don't seem to want that at the club, which baffles me. It baffles me. Truly don't get it. Foxy said, feel sorry for Jose. Difficult to overcome Galatasaray bringing in players like Sane. He should blitz that league. Yeah, well, listen. Yeah, look. Jose, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Out of the two, who would you go for more, Wharton or Eze? Eze, for me, I think he's gettable. I don't think Wharton's gettable in any way, shape or form. I really like Wharton. He's growing every year. Looks a very good player. I think getting him out of Palace with a long contract, being English, is going to be a ball ache. Yeah, that kind of died a death, didn't it? They got De Bruyne. They signed a few other players, haven't they? Signed Musa and somebody else I saw yesterday. Kieran, absolutely where I'm at. Absolutely where I'm at. Who cares what Romero thinks? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's going to be interesting. Different reports are telling us that Kulusevski is injured for different amounts of time. By the way, guys and girls, what do I have to do for you lot to get the like button smashed? What do we have to do? What do we have to do? We've only got, it's poor, 258 likes. And there's just under 600 of you in here. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Just seen someone on Instagram say Levy wants Frank because he can keep him on a leash and Ange was too wild. Didn't everyone say Ange was a yes man? Mate, honestly, the wind. My opinion goes from here to the number of people who message me going, oh, I've changed my mind now. Like, yeah, but you'll change it again in a week. Like, do you know what I mean? Those of us that stick to our opinions are hated, but those that change their mind every week are loved. Oh, that's really bright. Suddenly it's got really bright in South London. I'm letting Jonathan David go to Juventus, the old lady, and cheekily go for Dusan. Yeah, lots of people talk about that as well. Maybe we go for a striker, maybe we don't. Solanke's only just come in 1 year. Let's see. We'll see. But Philly, yeah, I'd take Vlahovic or David, to be honest. Savva Soccer News Thursdays, and it's live. It is live. By the way, it's a slow morning with transfer news anywhere, to be honest. I'm just looking around. The last thing was Kevin De Bruyne landing in Italy for a medical at Napoli. Be interesting to see how much they're going to pay him, because Napoli are not renowned huge players, are they? So let's see what happens there. Absolutely. I haven't read all of this, just the first bit. Ange made so many contradictory statements, but people remember the only one he got right. and just good at playing the media. And listen, he is brilliant. He's a great salesman. Alan said, hope he's able to bring them all. Well, listen, that's what Daniel Levy's trying to negotiate now, but fans getting impatient with Levy for trying to do what's right for the club. Just screams to me that people will just want to have a go for anything. Of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. Nowhere near those players of the past. Nowhere near those players of the past. If Frank doesn't work out, I think you just asked this in a different way. Listen, I can't say this anymore for people. I don't support managers or ownerships. If Thomas Frank comes in and a year and a half, 2 years down the line, I'm looking and going, you've not coached anyone, this isn't well, I will be Thomas Frank out. It's not dependent on who it is. I was Ange when he joined. After I saw him after the first 4, 5, 6 months, I went, nah, not for me. I don't understand this. Managers come in, some will work, some won't. I don't understand what we're going. I don't understand the narrative that you're trying to drive here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is Van der Ven a club player? Or a real player? Cheap player? I don't know. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'd take Damsgaard. I can't imagine that Brentford are going to want to lose him as well. I just can't imagine. Really good player. Really good player. Big up Mark. So why are people so weird? I don't know. It's like they have to go. It's like people aren't capable of nuance. I mean, look at the likes of Matt and Reezy for a year telling me about Ange. Don't worry about the defeats. And I'm sitting there going, well, Levy's not going to think that. No. All he'll care about is winning. They don't think. Isn't it funny? No one's seen Matt since the Ange out stuff. No one's seen him. Isn't it mad? Savva, it shows how much people don't do their research. Frank is so smart. I urge everyone to listen to the podcast he was on. He goes through morals, tactics, and logistics that succeeded. Listen, again, there's so many data points for this man on the internet. Podcasts, videos, VTs. There's so much. Big up to Andy Lester, who not only has become a member, but I said, big up Savva. Can't wait for a coach at the club. Big up, Andy. I can't wait to see a coach at this football club either. Maybe you're going to start a super sticker train as well. Fun fact, if everyone stuck in £1, we'd make £600 in a minute. Just letting you know. Big up to you. Hope you're well, Andy. And hopefully I'll see you on the channel member only show at 3 p.m. today. Absolutely, G Giant. Smash the like and the subscribe button. We are chasing down 18,500. So please do subscribe. Savva, you're not a dud, you're a darling. He got the wrong D word. No, I think he's talking about dud as in if Frank will be a dud. Not me, but maybe me. Maybe me. Craig Grant said 100% Frank will be back financially, but that doesn't mean we'll buy him the right players necessarily. But again, we don't know. When we're saying the right players, can anyone put their finger on it and go, that's a Frank player? Because this is a manager that's got multiple tactics. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens. I can't wait for Ange to get a new job. Hopefully these Ange cult followers who don't know coaching a team is fundamental rule of football goes with him. Look, I think there'll be many that do go that have only supported Spurs for Ange. Most football fans will stay with Tottenham, right? Most football fans who support Tottenham will be hurt if they liked him, but they'll move on. It's just the way it is. We need Paulinho to be able to dominate other midfields. Well, we need a Paulinho type because we're so lightweight in central midfield and we need to protect the back four. I truly believe that he will do something to eradicate that. Whether it's a slightly deeper double pivot, whether or not he plays a 6, we will find out. Big up to my man, Too Much of Elijah in the chat. Big up to him. Hope you're well, my man. What awards are we winning, bro? And the Spurs Content Creator Awards. What are you winning? What are we winning? Let's have a party when we win them away. Got this real craving for peanut butter on toast right now. Ooh, some Skippy peanut butter on toast. I don't know where that came from. Big up to E. Really good content creator. So chilled. So chilled you are, man. So chilled. Love it. Ben Ben, I said, morning, Savva. Morning, everyone. Savva is changing the channel name to Frank Heritage TV. Isn't it fitting in the year that my Frank passed away? Thomas Frank's going to be the new manager of Tottenham. There you go. Got an emotional connection to it. Why wouldn't Ange want Eze? He turned him down. He was offered the chance to be in talks with Eze and turned it down. Again, Eze's a bit more of a maverick. Is Eze going to be tracking back on the halfway line? Ange, all he wants is that. Absolutely. Listen, Jimmy, I love the argy-bargy different opinions. Listen, sometimes when I bring up comments like yours, people think it means I hate those people and I'm having a go. I love it. I love the back and forth, my man. Listen, Jimmy, the way I work, and this is where people get it wrong. They always say Savva wants an echo chamber. Savva doesn't want an echo chamber. What I actually need is people like you that disagree with me. That's what I need. That's what I thrive on. I like those that agree with me and that disagree with me. I like to think my channel is open to everybody. I'd hate to think that only those that agree with me, I'd bring up their comments. I'm always condoned, really, for not bringing up enough positive comments, so to speak. Benham has said, Savva, opinion on Justin Kluivert. He's had a good year. He's had a very good year. Decent footballer. I'd like to see what he does for another year or so. But, yeah, he's had a good year, hasn't he? He's a good footballer. Pesto cravings. Yeah, I could take I like a gnocchi with pesto in. I do like gnocchi. Really weird food, but I like it. Real players are not Hill, G, and Kundu, Aurier, Regulon, Bergwijn, Wimmer, Janssen, Basumas. Hang on, Basuma's a real player. Stambouli and Ndombele, many more were flops. We don't attract seasoned, experienced players. James Maddison was a seasoned, experienced player. Solanke was a seasoned, experienced player. Bentancur was a seasoned, experienced player. Romero was a seasoned, experienced player. Vicario was a seasoned, experienced player. Perisic was a seasoned, experienced player. Basuma's a seasoned, experienced player. So you're not correct in what you're saying. Porro, seasoned, experienced player. What you've done is you've taken some players that weren't seasoned and experienced and applied it to all. So what you should say is sometimes we don't attract seasoned, experienced players. Very different. Very different. And again, that's where you're so far one way that you can't meet anyone in the middle of a debate. That's the problem. You're welcome. Just helped you there. I understand why Ange wanted Gallagher. Gallagher is perfect for the chaotic system that Ange plays, and he needs a runner. Beth, the better half of Danny. Big up, Beth. How you doing? Yes, I do. PB and jam. I love peanut butter and jelly, as the Americans call it. I love peanut butter and jam. Oh, I bet you and Dan are sitting there right now eating your breakfast. Peanut butter on this one, jam on that one. Smashed it together, toast sandwich. Oh, love it. Big up to you. If you haven't subscribed, by the way, to Dan's channel, not you, Beth, you have. Please do go and subscribe to the Hot Spur Hood. Danny, for me, I voted for him. Most underrated content creator. Very underrated. You know what I love about Dan? Understands critical thinking and nuance. Doesn't just go, he's shit. Why? Because I said so. Why don't you rate him? Bearded Yeet said debating and different opinions is absolutely fine, but the rudeness and all the BS is unnecessary. Listen, BS, rudeness, but let's have the back and forth, right? Let's have the back and forth. I remember the Athletic saying that Thomas Frank was wanted by them as well. What was that? Something about seasoning. Yeah, something about pesto. Yeah, Danso was an experienced footballer. Again, it's only when it doesn't work. Timo Werner was an experienced footballer. So the words that people used are very different to what they mean. Wow. Peanut butter and honey on the same. Ooh. I'll give it a go. I love honey. I love syrup, honey, peanut butter. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, Beth don't know what she's talking about, Ben. Don't worry about it. Beth don't know what she's talking about. Big up to Foxy, who's become a new member. Look at all the members coming in today because we've got the members only show at 3 p.m. today. So in 3.5 hours, we've got the members only show. Again, I will be on the show. I'll put the link out. Anyone wants to come on, it's a chance for anybody to have their say, just have a chat. And it doesn't get broadcast to the internet. It's just among the members. So it's almost like, I think we've got nearly 200 members now, something like that, 170 maybe. It's a chance for all of those members to just have a footy chat, right? In the comfort on YouTube, but without it being broadcast on YouTube. Big up to you, Foxy. I love Foxy's football opinions. He's always bang on the money. Big up to you, Foxy. Yeah, I believe so, mate. I don't really know. It's not my thing. I don't know. They've put some awards out. Head over to Spurs Kings TV. Subscribe to Ash and Marlon, and you'll see the link there. Hang on, have I got it? I might have the link for you guys. I think they sent it to me. Here you go. They've sent it to me. There we go. Copy link address. There you go. Marlon emailed it to me. There's the link that I've just posted in there that says forms. That's to vote for the YouTube Spurs stuff. So go and fill your boots. Danny Wood, not me. Peanut butter and jam is disgusting. Dan, we'll have to have a word about this, mate. Big up Sav as Frank Signjet. It's happening. It's happening, my man. It's happening. Patience. It's happening. 164 Spur is happening. Don't you worry. Luke, I said peanut butter and jam sandwich, dip in egg, roll in crushed Frosties and fry. Hang on. So, Luke, I make a peanut butter and jam sandwich, dip it in egg. Okay, dip the thing in egg, roll in crushed Frosties and fry. That is sensational. I'm going to do that. I haven't got any Frosties, but I'm going to give that a go. Right, Anthony, but this is the thing. This is what I mean. So people need to be specific about what they're saying. If they're saying we don't sign quality players, that's very different to not signing experienced players, isn't it? Oh, mate, coffee is minging. Absolutely minging. But if you do like coffee, get over to Ben's Coffee Shop. Ben, feel free to tell everyone where they can find it. You're the main mod on the channel. You can do what you want, mate. Listen, it's all about the food combos. It's all about the food combos. I really love it. I love Tara Masalata with crisps. There we go. Hayden Hackney. Lots of people talking about Hayden Hackney of Middlesbrough. We've been linked with him for a number of years, haven't we? Hang on 1 second. Are we going live? Yeah, lots of people linked with Hayden Hackney. Lots of people have said that he's a good player. I've seen him a few times. Again, it's will he make the step up? I mean, someone like Wharton did. Could Hackney? Maybe he does. Maybe he's brilliant. Maybe he's brilliant. I'm seeing the most diabolical food combos, said he. Yeah. Hang on. Boo, 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 boo. What happened to simple egg on toast? Can't go wrong. Yeah, listen, simple egg on toast is good as well. Don't know how we got onto food. I think it's because I talked about needing some breakfast, wasn't it? 20 away from 1.1k. Go and sub to the Coffee Company as well. Please do. Thank you very much, everyone. Yeah, it's the smell, the taste. I can't do it. There's some football news somewhere. Trent Alexander-Arnold has been unveiled as the number 12 for Real Madrid. Where are we? Tara Masalata. Oh, my favorite. Do you know the funny thing? I don't like fish. I like Tara Masalata. Schiaffos. I bet you had loads of pita bread. If you eat, yeah, when you go and eat in Greece, etc. Oh my God, there's a lot of pita bread. Machiavelli said that Hackney is a Carrick regen. Look, he looks a decent player, but again, I think if we signed another player for the Championship to do that, fans will be annoyed unless he's the man that Thomas Frank has said, you know what? That's my guy. I'm going to coach him better. He's me. In that case, fine. Let's see. Thomas Frank has beaten Chelsea and Arsenal more times than Ange has in his entire career at Spurs. Thomas Frank's beaten a lot of top managers, but apparently we only want to focus on the game he lost to Plymouth. Harry Redknapp's got a jam roly company. Is that your cup? I like jam roly poly. I love it. Is that what we're talking about? I love a bit of jam roly poly. Guys and girls, I'm not going to go for ages today. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to force it this morning. I will be back for the members only show at 3 p.m. And then I will have a live show tonight. I'll get some guests on. We'll have a little bit of a panel show tonight. Maybe 7, maybe 8. We will see. But other than that, everybody, much love. Take care. And you know what? Just have a little bit of patience. It's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. The members, hang on, I'll tell you what, let me put the link for that show, shall I? Members. Where are we? Live. Here we go. So the members only show. Boom, boom, boom. Let's put the link. 1 second. 1 second. Why is that not working? Right, bear with me 1 second. I didn't need to do that, by the way. 1 second. Bear with me. Live. There's the members only show. So let's share that link. Share. Copy. Right. So this is for the members only, by the way. You've got to be a member. If you're not a member, you won't have access to it, basically. There is the link to the members only show. Let me just double check that I've done that correctly. Yeah. So if you see this link here, if you're a member, take that down. Join me at 3 p.m. And that link, I've just tried it, will take you directly to the channel members only show. So join that at 3 p.m. And I appreciate all of you. Take care, everyone. And as always, come on, you Spurs, 3 p.m. Might be 5 your time, 3 p.m. my time. Big up, everyone. Take care. Much love. And only our fans can live through the Poch era and then not give a Poch-like coach a chance. Take care, everyone. Much love. See you later.